The year is 1636, and cold wind slides across the canals of the Netherlands. Crowds pack noisy taverns, noses red from the fire's heat, eyes bright with dreams of quick money. They talk about tulips, yes, simple flowers. Some say the rarest tulip bulbs could buy a nice house. Others worry the whole thing feels too perfect. 400 years later, glowing screens do the same job. They buzz with claims that a single AI tool can fix everything, change everything, and turn anyone into a winner. It's a strange echo. One world smelled like damp earth and ink, the other hums with electric light. But both feel the same question rising in the air. How does something simple become something people trust too fast? And why do we fall for the same story over and over? To understand how we got here, we need to rewind. We step back into the early 1600s, when the Dutch Republic is booming. Ships return with spices and silk. Markets feel busy and warm, filled with the smell of roasted nuts and salty sea air. People have money to spend, and they want something rare to show they made it. Then tulips arrive from the east. Some bloom with wild stripes that look like tiny flames. These breaker tulips are so unusual that people begin trading them like treasure. Soon, printed leaflets buzz around towns with stories of lucky winners and rising prices. A single bulb trades hands many times before it even touches soil. This is our first clue. It's not the flower people want. It's a dream. So what actually makes this machine run? The engine is simple. First comes excitement. Someone sees a tulip price jump and tells a friend. The friend tells another. Warm tavern air carries the stories like smoke. Then come the printed notes, the early posts of the 1600s. Tiny sheets that promise huge gains, passed from hand to hand. These leaflets are the world's early internet. Slow, but powerful. Their words shape desire. Soon, traders make deals on paper for bulbs that are still buried underground. This works because everyone believes the next person will pay more, a pattern we now call the greater fool theory. Let's look at the star of the show, the Semper Augustus. It was the most prized of all, with deep red flames streaking its white petals. At the absolute peak of the mania, a single bulb was rumored to cost 10 times the annual salary of a skilled craftsman. People were trading the promise of a flower for the price of a grand Amsterdam house. But here's the aha effect. That beautiful flame-like pattern wasn't supposed to be there. It was the symptom of a mosaic virus. The virus made the tulips beautiful and incredibly rare, but it also made them sick and difficult to grow. It was a beautiful flaw, the perfect fuel for a speculative fire. Now look at today. The AI hype spreads the same way. Someone posts a flashy claim about a tool that can write books or make art. Then AI itself helps rewrite that claim into 10 more posts. It's easy to copy, easy to spread. Now we jump to today. The AI hype spreads in almost the same way. Someone posts a bold claim about a tool that can write stories, draw art, or plan whole projects. Then that same AI helps rewrite the claim into even more posts. It's easy to copy and easy to spread. The wave of words moves across the internet so fast that it feels like it has a life of its own. So what is the modern version of the Semper Augustus? The rare thing everyone chases because they believe it unlocks the future? It isn't a single flower or a single machine. It's the idea of scarcity itself. Today, a scarce resource is raw computing power. Not a brand, not a model, just the simple ability to run bigger and smarter AI systems. Only a limited number of groups have enough of this power. Everyone else tries to rent it, borrow it, or promise it will arrive soon. That promise becomes a kind of treasure map, just like rare tulips once were. And this is where the pattern lines up across the centuries. there is a rare, hard-to-get thing that people believe will open the door to the next big leap. That belief turns into fuel. It pushes excitement higher than the tool itself deserves. And that fuel burns fast. That's fine, until one small assumption fails. And then, after all that fuel burns, the first hairline fracture appears. It happened in the cold winter of February 1637 at a routine tulip auction in the city of Haarlem. A group of buyers simply fails to show up. The bulbs are offered, but the bids don't come. It's small, almost quiet, like the faint crack of ice under a boot. But the room feels it. The greater fool theory, the belief that someone would always buy, suddenly fails. The people in that room look around and have a terrifying thought. What if I'm the greater fool? What if I'm the last one left holding the bag? That single doubt is a contagion. Fear spreads faster than greed ever did. The news travels from Haarlem to Amsterdam. Prices don't just drop. They plummet 90% or more in a matter of weeks. Traders panic. Tavern rooms that once rang with laughter now echo with angry shouts. Deals made on paper for a fortune are now just worthless IOUs. People who thought they were rich discover they own nothing but a few buried bulbs and a lot of broken promises. Now, jump to today. What does an AI crash look like? It doesn't happen in one day. It happens when a revolutionary AI tool, promised to the world last week, is exposed as a thin wrapper over ChatGPT's API. It happens when a game-changing AI model gives a huge public demo, but the answers are wrong and the company's stock slides. It's the slow-motion crash of the startup that raised $50 million on a bold promise, only to be quietly acqui-hired 18 months later, with its product shut down. Hype drains faster than it rises. Posts turn from cheer to doubt, and no one wants to be the last one holding a story when the dust settles. In the Netherlands, the crash leaves a bitter taste. But what was the real damage? Interestingly, some modern historians like Anne Goldgar argue the Tulip Mania wasn't a complete economic catastrophe that ruined the whole country. It was more of a social crisis, a financial bloodbath for a specific group of wealthy merchants and speculators who were caught in the game. But the story of the crash, the idea that fortunes could vanish overnight, left a deep scar. It made people rethink how they trust rumors, how they judge rare value, and how fast they chase trends. Today, the AI hype wave leaves similar ripples. When the bubble bursts for a specific tool or company, the entire AI industry doesn't collapse. Instead, we see consolidation. The small, gimmicky startups that were all hype and no substance disappear. The real giant players, the Googles, the Microsofts, the Amazons, who have the capital and the infrastructure, simply absorb the useful tech. Trust gets weaker. People ask harder questions, and when the modern hype fades, we search for someone to blame. Not in taverns, but on tech blogs, in shareholder meetings, and in angry social media threads. So what do we take from this 400-year-old story? Here's the quiet truth. Whenever new tools appear, flowers or algorithms, our first reaction is to dream bigger than the tool deserves. The danger isn't the tulip, and the danger isn't the AI. The danger is the speed of the story that wraps around it. Stories make prices rise. Stories make risks shrink. Stories make the world feel simple when it isn't. After the crash, the Dutch didn't stop growing tulips. In fact, they became a stable, massive, and beloved part of their economy. The flower was always real. Its utility as a beautiful object was real. It was the price that was a fantasy. The same is true for AI. The tool is real. It has incredible, world-changing utility. But we have to be able to separate the tool from the story. The real lesson is to slow down and ask, what part of this is the tool and what part is the story? Am I excited because this new app can genuinely save me an hour of work? Or am I excited because a story told me this app will make me a millionaire by next year? So, as you watch the net's big trend rise, ask yourself that one simple question. Am I investing in the flower? Or am I just buying the hype?